The big night, the biggest night of the year. Okay, here we go.
You got my Milky Way?
Got your Milky. Am I getting ready for the show?
Yes, Jeffy.
Nuts. This is what it's all about. The big nut.
The ever famous 2016 year-end top. Here at the Metal Voice Studios.
We're going on in 1 minute. It's showtime. Center the walnut? The walnut's gotta be centered now. Water. It's gotta be centered. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Here we are, Jim.
Yes.
Part 1
Part 1.
of what should prove to be an exciting year-end event. 2016 Top 10 list and year in review here at the Metal Voice.
What is everybody fighting for?
They want a piece of the nut here.
The Great Walnut.
The Great
back there.
Walnut.
It's the Great Walnut Award.
That's where all the secrets are in there. So Jim, you want to do the year-end review before we get to the list? Or
We had a great time this
2016.
year. First of all, who joined us this year was Justin Stockton. He's a young apprentice, we'll call him. He's joined us and he does written reviews. Fantastic. David Reese joined the Metal Voice. Did a couple of comments.
Michael
commentaries.
Sweet stepped up with
Michael,
the reviews.
that's right.
He was calling and we got him to do a review of a lot of the new releases. So
Yeah, absolutely. NAMM 2016, Neil Turbin was there. He's going to be there this year, hopefully. He did a great interview with Wolf Hoffman at NAMM. What else do we have, Alan?
he also covered Lemmy's funeral. He was
Yes.
able to make that event, and unfortunately for us, but unfortunately for Lemmy,
Even though Lemmy died at the end of December, but the funeral was in January, so that was in 2016. Also, Heavy Montreal, me and Alan went to Heavy Montreal, covered that.
got to see the boys from Sabaton again.
Yep.
Met our friend from the one and only Blind Guardian,
Like Hansi.
Hansi, which was a true treat to meet
Yep.
Hansi.
Yep.
And it was a great event. It was a great show, great weather.
Hopefully we'll be back there again this year. What else do we have? And those 2 documentaries, the Blaze Bailey documentary, tour documentary, which was exciting, fun, and really great time doing the shoot with Blaze. And Graham Bonnet at the beginning of the year. Graham Bonnet on tour in the UK. Another fantastic documentary. More of that to come to. So,
Hey, Jim, let's not forget, we went live for
yes,
the first time.
That's right.
Thoroughly enjoyable. We broke our own record. We hit for some odd people called
That's
in,
right.
and comments were great. It was fun to do. Lots of fun to do.
So we're going to continue to do that as well.
I think we should.
Yeah. All right. So also, as we're reviewing, or actually, so as we're counting them down, we're going to hear from Neil Turbin. He's going to give us his album of the year. Giles will give us his album of the year.
Slavery.
And I know
Great
Justin,
song.
our young apprentice, he's going to give us his album of the year.
Okay.
So, let's just start off with Justin. And we'll get Giles
All right.
and Neil in part 2 of this show. So let's go to Justin. Let's start things off. Justin Stockton, he's going to give us his top album of 2016.
Justin Stockton here from Chicago, Illinois for the Metal Voice. And my album of 2016 was very hard to pick because there's just too many good albums out there today. This one is the self-titled album from Diamond Head this year. Came out in, I believe, March. First with their new singer, Rasmus, who is probably their best singer that they've had, even better than Sean Harris. I know a lot of people will kill me for saying that. But there are so many good songs on here. I mean, Shout at the Devil is really good. All the Reasons You Live is a really good kind of progressive 70s rock song. The song Diamonds is probably one of the best songs they've ever written. And then the last song, Silence, is just amazing. It has like a little bit of an element of Stargazer from Rainbow on it. But yeah, it's a great comeback for these guys, and well deserved too. So yeah, that's my top album of 2016.
All right, Al, you ready?
Are we ready, or are you going to Giles?
No.
No.
Giles is going to be in part 2, and so is Neil.
Okay.
We gotta have some suspense.
All right, this year we're doing it a bit different. Usually Jim and I come to a
Yes.
consensus, and we might have a few things that are different, but we have a lot more in common. This year there were so many great releases.
Yeah.
We could only come to a consensus on one album.
Just one.
And these two lists are very, very far apart. So we decided to do a true top 10 list. My top 10, Jim's top 10, and this show will be counting down from 10 to 6. Start with Jim's 10, my 10, and work down to 6. In another show, you'll see the top 5 for each of our lists. That's how great the music was.
This is unprecedented.
And this is the first time ever.
That's right.
This is
And usually we say-
we had comments. That's not a true top 10 list. 5 and 5. Here we got 2 top 10 lists.
This is the only way we could do it.
There you
We
go.
break the rules, Alan. We break the rules.
There are the rules.
All right. You
Jim,
ready?
go ahead. Who's your number 10?
Actually, my number 10 is your number 10.
Yeah, that's
So
the
there-
only consensus we had. So let's start off with that one.
Number 10, Michael Sweet, One-Sided War.
There you go, Michael. We reviewed that at the time. He warned us how heavy it was going to be. We interviewed him while he was recording that process. Months later, it's still a great listen. Some very strong songs, great vocals, and great guitar works on that album. So that's why it made both Jim's list, the only one I
That's
can
right.
say, the only one that made both our lists for 2016 was Michael Sweet's One-Sided War.
Let's start counting them down, Alan.
Okay, so you got number 9, Jim.
Number
Jim's
9.
Number 9.
You know, Alan, I always like to give the little guy a break.
There you go.
Here's a band that used to do the intro, or actually they still do the intro to the show, right? The Metal Rights. They came out with a new album called Rendezvous with Destiny. Love the cover. These guys break the sort of that model. They don't go on the tour 365 days a year. They have day jobs, they have families. What they do is they create an album, they write, they put everything they got into it. Then they do a short tour, and then they go back to their lives and repeat. And they do that because they love music, and it shows on this album. So Dexter Ward, Rendezvous with Destiny is my choice for number 9. These guys are killing it from Italy, Greece.
Italy, Greece.
Italy, Greece. The
Wow.
singer's from Italy,
That's a
the
new
rest of the
country.
guys are from Greece.
There you go. My number 9, I'm a little embarrassed with this one, Jim, but it's so damn catchy, I had to put it on. The album cover is beautiful. It's Cry of Dawn featuring Goran Edman, and I'm probably mispronouncing that. Jim, you know I'm not a big keyboard guy. I'm not a big melodic metal or, you know. Anyway, this is catchy. This is Night Ranger, Journey, Asia, all rolled up into one. So there's quite a bit of heavy keyboards. It's a great listen. A light. You got to Listen to Me, Tell It to My Heart. The vocals are right on. The lyrics are interesting. Many keyboards, which is not my style, but it's catchy as anything. I can't stop listening to it, Jim. So that's my number 9, Cry of Dawn.
Go to number 8. Here's another surprise, Alan. Number 8 for me is Sodom, Decision Day. Here's a band that's been around since the beginning of thrash, right?
Beginning.
The four Teutonic terrorists from Germany. This is a band that I think they finally got it right. Brutal, great production, melodic. So in other words, these guys are bringing in a new crowd because they're just stepping up their game after all these years. Sodom, Decision Day.
Continuing with what he's referred to as melodic metal, Mr. Joe Lynn Turner's Sunstorm and the album's Edge of Tomorrow. Joe Lynn Turner, you know, that's when you think of melodic rock, you think of Joe Lynn Turner and you think of Lou Gramm and Foreigner,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So this is a great album. This is one of many that he released under the Sunstorm umbrella. Don't Walk Away from a Goodbye, which is very Journey-ish. Edge of Tomorrow's got that kind of rainbow feel that he was so famous for. Heart of the Storm, they got a ballad on there called Angel Eyes. Everything You've Got's got a driving beat. It's Joe Lynn Turner at his best. It's what he does best, and it's great music. And that's one we didn't get a chance to review, unfortunately. But here it is, making my top 10 list at the end of the year. Joe Lynn Turner's Sunstorm and the album's Edge of Tomorrow.
Which brings us to number 7.
Seven.
Here's a band that I caught on tour with Onslaught, Artillery.
Artillery.
Penalty by Perception. These guys have been around forever. And you know what? I gotta say this one more time. They finally got it perfectly right. Solid album, technical thrash. I met these guys, great guys, very creative, and I give them props for still going strong after all these years and still coming out and coming out with their best album after all these years. So that's Artillery, Penalty by Perception.
You know, Jim, on my number 7, this is what I love about our show. Get to investigate new bands. Bands that we'd probably never heard of, would never even find at our local record store. Can we still say record store?
Yeah.
Here's mine coming in number 7. It's High Noon by Chakra. Chakra is a Swiss band, and you can tell because a lot of these songs are influenced. It sounds like Gotthard, but man, just the sound, the vocals, everything. The singer is Mark Fox. It's a driving beat. It's got a little kind of Bad Company to it. Like I said, a lot of Gotthard. You got the obligatory ballad in there with Life's What You Need. The Storm's kind of got a little bit of a 6 a.m. feel. You got Eye to Eye, that's got a bluesy feel, so it's got everything that you want in an album. And it's a pleasant surprise. Here's another band that I would never have even listened to or found if it wasn't for this show. So Chakra, High Noon.
All right, Alan, here's my last one for this show. Number 6.
Number 6.
You could say this band is part of the second wave of thrash, because it's been the year of thrash. Flotsam and Jetsam, their self-titled album, man, out of nowhere. These guys are still going strong, and you know what? Probably one of their best releases. I interviewed the band this year. The creative juices are flowing stronger than ever. Congrats. Technical, thrash, and the vocals, just incredible. I love it. And I think everybody should go pick up Flotsam and Jetsam, their new self-titled album.
Okay, Jim, my number 6, the last one for this show, is a band that we all know, Primal Fear, Rule Breaker.
Yes.
So Jim, you know, you listen to the first couple of songs, you can tell the Judas Priest influence right there. In fact, the third song, Bullets and Tears, you swear that was the beginning of Breaking the Law. So the first 3 albums, the 3 songs, Angels of Mercy, The End Is Near, is your typical driving Judas Priest inspired, but then they, as usual, they go into the epics. We Walk Without Fear, a 10-minute song there. The Sky Is Burning is the ballad. And overall, Jim, you know, I thought it was a strong album. It deserved to be on this list. So here's a hats off to everybody's favorite. They've been out there for years plugging away. Primal Fear. And the title track is also Rule Breaker, which you can't get that out of your head.
Yeah.
Once you hear that, you'll be singing it forever. So that song alone merits that it be on the top 10 list.
So there you go, from 10 to 6. Next show, part 2, will be from 5 to 1. All right, see you next time on The Metal Voice.